we were involved in a bus accident. The bus we were on passed a semi truck transporting bamboo poles. And as it was trying to negotiate the pass, one of the bamboos caught the bus, pierced through the first window. That's why I have scars on my chin, is from the broken glass. It pierced the woman beside me and my uncle who was traveling with us. And it went through the next row were seats. My mom. She had my younger brother on her lap. And sensing the danger of the moment, she handed him to my aunt who was next to her on the seat. So she was pierced this way. They brought her to the hospital. She was clinically dead. And all the emergency people were ready to just give up. But the head doctor in the ER said her heart's beating. There's a deep why for this woman. This young woman has the will to live. We don't know what it is, but she has a will to live. And she said, we cannot give up. And so they worked on her, and she survived. There were many complications. There were many months in the hospital. And she lived for another 40 plus years. That was the turning point of our family. Notice that I did not mention my dad in that travel. He was not with us in what would have been a family trip. It was a turning point for him. He came to Christ. He came to faith because of that experience, that challenge for a family. I wouldn't be here talking to you today if not for November 4th, 1978. So when I was discerning this call, and I learned of the dates of when jurisdictional conference is going to be held, and it was going to straddle November 4th. There was something in me that said it might be another chapter. It might signal another chapter in this wonderful adventure, this wonderful life that God has gifted us as a family. I have the opportunity to help this role evolve into what God is calling it to be for this season in the life of our church. I am a very relational person, and even in situations where I clearly have the positional authority in a room, I want to collaborate with people. I lead in a circle where I know that I am not the only expert in the room. And sometimes I'm not even the expert. And so I know that as bishop and in our polity right now, collaborative leadership is what I offer. Many of the decisions need to be made by the bishop. The bishop needs to sign on the dotted line. But these decisions will not be made without careful consultation with people around the table. Now there will be disappointments. Because it is my role. It is my role to make the final decision. I will reserve that right to make that decision, and it will be seasoned. I also offer my culture. I am a Filipino. I am a Filipino American. I am an immigrant. I was born, raised, heard my call to ministry, ordained in the Philippine Central Conference. I pray that the church, the United Methodist Church here in the United States, would give me the space to lead from my authentic self and not force me to think white, to act white, and to just be business as usual. Alaska will always have a special place in my heart. I had a mentor once tell me, he's in the room right now. Once tell me, always cherish your first appointment, because you will always go back to that, for not just for memories, but for those formative phases of how you do ministry. You'll always go back to that. And while Chugiak in Alaska was not my first appointment as a pastor, it was my first appointment in the US. And so the Alaska conference helped raise me to be the leader that I am right now. And in all of the in all of the overwhelming moment yesterday of my election, and I did not have a speech written. One of the shoulders I failed to mention was that I was standing there yesterday. I stand before you on the shoulders of my Alaska conference siblings. So the church is in decline, and it's gonna be an even steeper decline with this fracturing, this splintering. In my culture, when somebody passes, when we say goodbye to somebody, we hold a wake. We hold a season of grieving our loss. I think in this season of fracturing and losing, we will need to acknowledge, respect, and accept the call upon the lives of our siblings who feel that they cannot be in relationship with us right now as we are. We need that space apart from each other right now in order to grow. There's a ministry of absence. There's a ministry of not being together, so that we might allow ourselves to discover who we are and what we're called to do, and maybe, just maybe, down the road, we might come back together in a new form of relationship. This is a new day. This is a new day, and so I come from a church culture where in the Philippines we wait for the reading of appointments. We wait for that. We don't know where we're going to be sent until the last day, the last hour of annual conference. And so I wait with joyful anticipation with the rest of our jurisdiction and the church as to where God is leading us next. And look forward to building new relationships with the people with whom I will be called to serve.